I do this and you do that. And I think the fact that he didn't even bother to mention our children's names should tell you everything about our relationship.
Well, he told me the ages.
Yeah, well, that's great. Robert and Madison, that's with a Y.
But she ain't asked for the kid.
Okay, I get it.
Oh.
Anyway, so going back to, evidently I'm just going to Florida for a permanent vacation. I'm actually going for a job.
All right.
So what's that job?
Robert, and I'm going to be a marine biologist.
So when this dream come apart? Because you ain't had this dream when we met.
See, exactly. Do you ever listen?
Miss Adams, I need you to talk directly to me, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Morris, I'm giving you an opportunity to speak. Let me hear what she has to say.
You're right,
and
Judge,
people
I'm sorry.
can change dreams. I mean, depending on how long you guys have been apart, a lot could have changed in her life.
It's just she taking my kids, Judge.
Okay, well, let's hear what she has to say.
Yeah.
She said marine biologist, right?
Yes.
That sounds like a really good job, and I want to hear about it. See how much money she makes.
She just having random dreams, Judge, but it's all
okay,
good.
that's great, but I need to see how much money she's making.
Right.
Okay?
I'm sorry.
All right.
Yeah, less talking, more listening.
She fires back, not a vacation, a career marine biology. He mocks the dream, says it's new. Judge silences him, reminds him people can change. He protests. She's taking his kids. Judge demands less talk, more listening.
And you do the same thing. All right, now. Continue.
Jesus.
So I'm taking the kids to Florida because I have a greater job opportunity.
Okay.
And, you know, it's so interesting to me that he says that he sees the kids 4 times a week. I guess he's talking about maybe a FaceTime call or seeing them on his phone screen, because I certainly don't see him picking up the kids and taking them to the doctor and cleaning up vomit in the middle of the night. So it's great that he thinks that that he's paying for the right to see his kids. And that there are people who don't pay child support and who see their kids a whole lot, Judge. That tells you everything you need to know about the transactional nature of relationships. To Mr. Morris.
She declares the truth, the move is for a better job. Calls his 4 times a week claim a fantasy, says he skips the hard parts. The doctor, the midnight sickness, accuses him of thinking money, buys fatherhood, says it's all transactions. To him,
So, look, the fact of the matter is, I guess he doesn't realize that his children are going to need to eat, whether they live in Texas or they live in Florida. And
That's true.
And they're going to need new tennis shoes and new clothes. And I guess he just thinks that money goes on trees, or that kids just eat for free. It's not how it works. This isn't TGI Fridays. So the cost of living is going to be higher in Florida.
All right, what are we looking at?
So my rent is going up from $2,000 a month to $2,800 a month.
Okay.
Because I have to have a 3-bedroom because Robert and Madison need their own bedrooms. And of course, I have to pay for flood insurance and other things like that.
Okay.
she warns kids eat in Texas or Florida, clothes, shoes, bills, money. Doesn't grow on trees. This isn't TG Fridays. Florida costs more. Rent jumps from $2,000 to $2,800, 3 bedrooms for Robert and Madison plus flood insurance.
All right. And you mentioned food.
Yeah. So, the kids eat organic.
Okay.
And they're vegan. And so my grocery bill for them is already close to $800 a month.
Okay.
So his opinion that $880 is too much for the kids is wrong. It is a wrong opinion, because your children deserve the nutrition they need to grow up big and healthy and strong so they can be college athletes like you want them to.
Okay, so Miss Adams, you said that your rent is going up $800.
Yeah.
You have to pay flood insurance. The children's diet, they eat organic food and they're vegan. Okay, so are you using the child support for flood insurance and rent too, or are you using it to feed the kids? I just want to make sure I'm clear on what it is that you're saying in regards to his request to get a reduction.
Judge asks about food. She says organic vegan, $800 a month in groceries. She says his claim of overpaying is wrong. The children need nutrition to grow strong. Judge presses. How is the child? Support spent rent, insurance, food. She wants clarity.
Yes, Your Honor. So the thing is that if I was living in a 1-bedroom because I was by myself, my rent would be a lot lower.
All right.
But I have to get a 3-bedroom because I have a boy and a girl, and I don't want them sleeping in the same bedroom.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I have to get a 3-bedroom, and so it's not just that, it's my electric bill, it's cell phones, because our 5-year-old has a cell phone. So now I have to make sure that we've got her a phone line so she can talk to her dad so he can see her 4 times a week on FaceTime.
So about that, he said that he sees the children now 4 times a week. And you're saying that's not true, except for like a FaceTime video or something like that.
He sees the kids on an inconsistent basis.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
Okay.
She explains. A 3-bedroom is a must. Boy and girl, separate rooms, bills stack up, electric cell phones. Even the 5-year-old has one. So dad can FaceTime 4 times a week. She says it's not true. Visits are inconsistent, judge notes. The tension.
So when you say inconsistent, right now, do you all operate under a standard order where it's like first, third, and fifth?
He has every weekend, and I have during the week.
Okay, so every weekend he has.
Right.
Okay. During that every weekend, it's inconsistent, is what you're saying?
I mean, it's just all over the place. He just comes and goes and sees the kids whenever is convenient to him, or maybe his girlfriend like turns him down for a date or whatever.
Okay, so that was petty.
What girlfriend you talking about?
We didn't have to go there. We didn't have to go there. So is that what the issue is? Like, you're still mad at him about that story that he told?
Well, okay, so he put in a bid for an upgrade, or the upgrade put in a bid for him or whatever, and now I have to explain to our son why our family fell apart.
Oh. So it's some hurt feelings there. Okay, I understand.
Judge confirms he's supposed to have every weekend. She says it's inconsistent, says he visits when convenient, throws in a jab about a girlfriend. Judge calls it petty. She admits the hurt. She has to explain to their son why the family broke.
So, have you already moved to Florida, or is this something that you're intending on doing pretty soon?
Well, I took the job offer and I've already found an
So the
apartment.
answer is yes. You pretty much already...
Everything but the U-Haul, Your Honor.
Okay. So in your court order, do you have a geographic restriction because dad lives here?
Yes, but he moved just outside of Ellis County, so he's just outside of the geographic restriction, so it's technically lifted, Your Honor.
Okay. And technically is what you said, but is that what your court order says?
Well, the court order says Dallas and contiguous counties, and he moved like a mile on the other side of the Ellis County line.
Okay. And I do have a copy of your court order here, and it doesn't mention that it's automatically lifted.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just thinking it was the one that...
O is right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
O
Thank
is
you.
right. What?
I'm sorry.
O is right. Because you can't just leave. You can't just do that. You actually have to ask permission to modify this order like he did.
Well, can I modify the order to move to Florida?
Did you file anything for today?
I mean,
It's a yes or no.
No.
Okay. So you're moving without asking the court, can you move? And dad is still living here.
Well, I guess I just didn't understand the way the order was written, because I had heard that if he moved outside of where it said, then I could move
Who
out.
did you hear that from? Did you Google? You did one of those Google searches? One of the Google lawyers told you that?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, okay. Because they told you wrong, and that's the problem with Googling everything. You should have actually consulted with an attorney who would have interpreted this order properly to you. You can't just move. So let me tell you what we're going to do, because I think this is the fair thing to do. Regardless to whether you say his visits are inconsistent, he say they're consistent, The reality of it is when you move to Florida, he can no longer have access to those kids. So even if he were coming this day, and did every weekend, he won't be able to do that anymore now that you are going to move to Florida. So what I'm not going to touch is your custody arrangement. Not going to touch that at all. This is a child support court. That has nothing to do with us, okay? So I'm not going to touch it at all. You are free to move to Florida. However, he's coming off child support. So then he can use the money, the $880 or so that he would give you for child support. He can use that to travel to actually see the kids.
But what if he doesn't, Your Honor?
Well, if he doesn't, then after some time of him not doing it consistently, and when I say consistently and consecutively, it needs to at least be about 6 months or something like that, right? Then you can come back and let me know, Judge, he's not exercising regularly. I need some support for these 2 kids, right? But absent anything like that, I believe that's in the best interest of the children. And quite frankly, that's fair. You're moving without permission, right?
Yeah.
Which is a violation of your court order. So it's only fair that he stops paying child support. So beyond a reduction, he's coming off child support today. Now you will have to keep maintaining the health insurance, okay?
That's fine, Your Honor.
All right. So that, what is it, 362?
Yes, ma'am.
You'll still continue to pay the health insurance, but there will be no child support paid from him to you. Hopefully you guys can come to an agreement.
That's the plan, Your Honor. Once we leave, I plan on giving her a call so we could try to talk about things and kind of get on a good level with each other.
Yeah, I think that can work. And who knows, your job may transfer up here and you may end up being back in Dallas anyway. Now, if that happens, you all would need to come back because then we need to look at something different about what child support is going to be. But until then, enjoy Florida. All right. Is there anything further?
No?
Thank you, Your Honor, for everything. You really made a big change in my life, and I'm glad we came to your court today.
All right. Well, you're very welcome. And if there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
She admits the move is set. Judge points out the order has a geographic limit. Her claim it's lifted is wrong. Google advice failed her. Judge rules she can move, but he's off child support. $880 stays in his pocket for travel. He must keep paying health insurance. If he stops visits for 6 months, she can return for support for now. It's fair, court adjourns. Lives changed.